On April 17th, 1975, my family got on a ship that was built for a crew of 35, yet there were more than 300 of us that crammed on board on this day. It was the day that the Khmer Rouge, the communist regime in Cambodia, had captured Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh, and effectively gained complete control over the country. Had we stayed in Cambodia, we would have been part of a massive slaughter. In the end, over the course of 4 years, 1.7 million Cambodians died in the genocide in my country. So on that day, we got on a ship. There was not very much food, and there was very limited drinking water that had to be rationed out. My mother was worried that we would run out of food, and this baby that was in her sarong, a newborn, not quite a year old, was not doing very well. And one day, about halfway into the journey, the captain of the ship crisscrossed the deck to assess his crew and his passengers on board, to assess everybody's condition. And he looked down and he saw this baby that my mother was cradling that to him looked dead. The baby hadn't cried or moved in some number of days, more than a week, as my mom tells it. And the captain was certain that the baby had died, so told my mother that she had to throw the baby overboard. And my mother pleaded with him that, we're Buddhist, at least please let us, the next landing we have, or the next place that we get to on land, will give the baby a proper burial. So she was able to keep this baby, and that baby was me. When I asked her, did you think I was dead? She said, I had hope, just a little bit, that you were still alive.
It was 1976 when the Viet Cong had infiltrated our village in Pak Se, Laos, and we were forced to flee our country. On the day that we left, I remember I was 6 years old. We loaded the entire family onto a small boat and went up to the city and loaded into a truck, entire family, 6 children and 3 adults. And from there, we went to the border near where the Mekong River starts. And my mom and my younger brother and I went our separate ways. My dad and my grandmother took the rest of the family. And it was that point that I didn't know if we were going to be able to meet up again. And the plan was to meet on the other side in Thailand. We made it to the other side, and it was, we stayed in this stilt home in the jungle and waited for the rest of my family to show up. That was kind of a scary time because I remember thinking, well, will I see my dad again, or my grandmother, or the rest of my brother and sister? So it was about a couple of days later that they showed up, and then my dad said that they were stopped along the way and questioned by a soldier, and they talked him out of it. Basically, they said, "Hey, this is not your war. Just, take the money we're going to give you, and just let us go." And thank God they did. And from that point on, we were able to make it to the refugee camp. And that was Eastern Thailand. I didn't like leaving a war-torn country. And it's a new beginning for everyone, for the entire family, but it was frightening. But it also gave me a fresh start.
I was the director of that project.
I came in and helped photograph key actors who were involved in making changes in their countries, from activists to journalists.
One of the best things about this project was being able to work with Kim again. She's extremely talented in what she does, and one of the things that I see in her photographs that I don't see in everybody's photograph is a very slight nuance of compassion that's there for whoever she's taking a picture of.
Even though Posada is younger than me, I always feel that she was so far ahead of me. She was an inspiration in school and also in our careers. She sees some injustice and she wants to do something about it. And I remember her saying, you have to speak up when you see something that's unjust. I'm going to write about it. That's what she said, you know? And then I thought more about it, like, I want to do something with my photography. This project was perfect to work together again overseas and make a difference.
Just like me, Kim came from war. And when we met at the University of Oregon as students, I understood this about her right away, is that this bond between us is born out of adversity. Both of us had the backgrounds of fleeing our war-torn countries. I was much younger than she was when she fled, so she has the memories of leaving, whereas I don't, but we're connected by that bond.